Here we are at the end of 2021. At this point, if you're not confused by what happened in the world in these last 2 years, I'm pretty sure you've been sleeping. But what about you? Have you been reaching your goals? Did you make any progress this year, or you feel like you're stuck? Of course that the world has changed, but the fact is that if you can't adapt to the new circumstances, the world will change anyways and you will not be able to make progress with your life. So in today's video I'm going to share with you a few tips to make your 2022 an amazing year. You're watching Sucessology and let's get into the video. Well, of course that to make some progress in life you must know the direction you're going to, so the first step that will help you to make progress with your life in 2022 is make a plan. You shouldn't use planning as an excuse to delay your objective, but planning is needed. You can't get anywhere if you don't know where you're going. If you have financial goals, define how much you're investing per month. If you want to lose weight, you must have a diet. For anything you want in life, you must take calculated risks. Have a reflection phase before getting involved in whatever it is you're deciding to do. Split those big goals into smaller ones and accomplish them one by one. For this step, I advise you to read a book called Atomic Habits. It's a huge help. Secondly, you must learn how to manage money. It doesn't matter how you define success, but since we all deal with money, I think it's really important to learn how to manage it. You'll be able to take some risks if you have an emergency fund, for example, on investments, on your projects, or just an unexpected problem, which are pretty normal to happen. You should make a budget and have your finances organized. That doesn't mean you can't spend money on things you like for fun. It means that you will have control over your money. You should invest, have an emergency fund, divide the budget according to your goals, and make sure you pay all your debt. The best book I can advise you about this subject is by Dave Ramsey and it's called The Total Money Makeover. Before I continue with the video, if you enjoy this type of content, hit that like button. It will help my channel to spread the message to as many people as possible. Thanks. Thirdly, and one of the most important lessons that this pandemic taught me was be ready to grow and adapt. This step can make a huge difference on your perspective of this world. Your plans aren't always going to work, and when that happens, be okay with changing them. Don't get me wrong, stick to your goals, but if your plan to reach that goal isn't working, you're wasting time. And please don't forget to enjoy the process. I'm not saying that you're going to love every single day of your journey, but you can and should make the most out of every day. And about this step, there's one more important thing. Learn to rest instead of quitting. I know that you're seeing these gurus online telling you that rich people sleep less and sleep on their factory and they didn't take breaks. Let me tell you something about that. It's not smart to do it. Your productivity will decrease with poor sleep, but it will increase with great nights of sleep. Know the time to stop. This is so important as knowing the time to start. The book I advise you to read about changes in your life, it's called Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. This next one should be one of the things you must avoid today to change your life. Stop comparing yourself to others. Let me put it in perspective. Colonel Sanders started a business at 65 years old. If you don't know who he is, you might know his business. It's called KFC. Don't take only this example forward, take the example of 200 self-made millionaires which on average took 32 years to get there. It doesn't matter what your situation looks like, you can do it. Maybe you just want to be financially free to dedicate time to whatever you want. Those are completely understandable goals. Not everybody wants to be rich, so stop comparing your goals. Stop comparing their Instagram moments with the average of your life. Stop comparing your circumstances, your family, or whatever it is. Be the best you can. Focus on making your life better instead of competing with people that probably don't even mean that much to you. At the end of the day, if you're not capable of looking inside instead of looking around, your life will be meaningless and your time wasted. The book I advise you to read for you to focus more on yourself, it's called You're a Badass. And last but not least, and this one is so important, take good care of yourself. Listen to this, you can't separate your dreams from self-care. Let's suppose you're investing in the stock market and you need time to benefit from the compound effect. Guess what benefits you're going to have from the compound effect if you died before? None. There are situations where people died and they couldn't do anything about it. But if you died because of your toxic habits, that's your fault. Personally, I think we are already exposed to so many things that we don't need more. Get good nights of sleep, stop eating industrialized food, take your vitamins, exercise, and I could continue over and over. Prioritize yourself in all possible ways. Your physical and mental health. Cut off toxic people, toxic habits, and things that don't make you better. When you start doing this, your life changes completely. completely, and you start seeing and understanding things that you couldn't before. In this last one I could give you so many books, so I decided to give you the one that had the bigger impact on me, which is called The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. These were the tools that I believe that in 2022 will help you to reach whatever you want in life, or at least make your life a little bit better. For now, I finished my video here. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This was Sucessology here. You'll never be average again. Peace.